Alright, we might as well start. Welcome. There we go. Alright, cool. Alright, welcome back. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Today we are fixing an issue. So over the weekend I noticed that quite a lot of my tests were returning 302. So what I did was I jumped in and I've added in this random test down here. And the idea is with this random test, we go to test permission denied page. We don't need any args. I think we follow equals true and we get it's weird. So when we go over here, we get errors 1. Oh, okay. Now that's the issue right here because I was doing this like so. Alright, sorry, the follow shouldn't have been there. I was reading up some Stack Overflow and someone put follow in there and I followed up with it. And anyway, so if we run this and so forth like that, we get a 302 does not equal a 403. And I'm just like, that is a bit weird. So what I would recommend, so let's find out why. And also, oops, I'm terribly sorry. What I need to do, I need to create profile. Create from current profile. I will put this as programming on laptop screen. Excuse me whilst I actually do this. And then create profile. Streaming profile. Right, there's only going to be one change. So, settings. 26. There. All right, cool. So that way everyone can read this down here. All right. So what we'll do is we'll hit run. We'll debug this manually. So we'll just jump in. All right, cool, sweet. We'll open up a new thing, localhost. I'm gonna make sure I am as an admin user. So this will happen no matter what user you do. So test, permission denied. So the idea with these test pages is you will be able to do several tests. So one of the tests that I would want to do is if I finally implement the email function in here is to actually do an email implementation in here and so forth like that. So that way people can be like, all right, we're going to run these gambit of tests and so forth like that. In this sort of case, this is actually testing the permission denied, making sure that the permission denied is showing up correctly. This is more for a shakeout test on our behalf. So yeah. Anyway, so this should give a 403. So if we open up our console log, it's not our console log, sorry, our network. You'll notice that it does give out a 403. We've got a bunch of loaders and all that comes through. That's just the default template. So this is built on top of the default template from NearBeach, but we still get a forbidden, which, you know, works on across everything. So let's have a look at this. Yeah, so that's what we're going to try and solve tonight. That, and also once we solve it, actually implementing all of these tests and writing up an Excel sort of document so that way we could test for every single sort of connection and stuff like that. Because nowadays, last stream, whoops, where did the code go? Last stream, we played around with this and we're able to get this sort of working in a fashion which it'll be essentially one function that we're using that can test multiple different pages at once. And yeah, I actually really like it like this, and I am going to elaborate on it and build upon it more. There's going to be a couple of things we can't do because the fixtures doesn't have data in it, but we can fill out that data in the fixtures very easily. So what we'll do is we'll go through and figure out what needs to be implemented in the fixtures, implement it very quickly, because the good news about the fixtures is we've got a baseline now, so we can quickly jump in and update those fixtures. So yes, excuse me, just solving the Rubik's Cube. It's going to annoy me if I don't. All right, cool. Let's jump into finding out why we're given a 302. Django, wow, cap locks, I'm yelling. So a lot of these people are like, I'll zoom in for you guys. Sorry, I was on the laptop. So let's read this out. I'm trying to do a unit test for my Django application whenever I get a request to a particular page, it redirects me to the login page. I've logged into the web app. Okay, so this is this is because they haven't saved their login details, but we should be doing that. We should be doing that up here. Sorry, itchy eye. I don't know why. Okay, up here we've got login user, so we've got the response, see post, reverse login, self.credentials. So the self.credentials is set up here. So the username, password. So that should, and because this is post, goes through, and then we've got follow equals true there. Why didn't that work down here? I know why it didn't work. All right, that's probably it, hopefully. No. It's got it at 200. All right. Well, at least we changed the status code, but it's got a 200. Let's... Okay. Oh, I'm yawning already. Hey, Greg Muss, the Foss Boss. How are you? I hope you're going well today. Excuse my yawn. It's 7:30, oh, 7:40 here, PM. All right. All right. I forgot where I put that particular feature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the URLs. I'm going to find test permission denied. It's right in front of me. It's under auth views test permission denied. So auth views. So that will be right down here. So test permission denied. So it's just a simple test, always responds with permission denied. It doesn't really need the print dot here anymore. It just, ew. Maybe this is a 200. Oh, but we've got to check permission denied up here. All right, let's see my decorator for this particular one. I'm just going to right-hand click, go to definition. All right, just a test function. Don't worry about it. Great. So it is decorator function wraps inner request arguments and so forth like that, and it returns raise permission denied, which is a function in the Django core exceptions. So that should send back a 403, but we've got a 200 over here. So the idea is this particular decorator will not hit this, will not actually run this function because it will just raise that issue. So, yeah, all right. Okay. Oh, don't know why I'm yawning. So, see what the response says. All right. Status code 200. F. Okay. Let's actually put a breakpoint here. So it's going to do all its thing. Oh, don't we have breakpoints in this? Oh, all right. That's going to be annoying. I did save. Let's print the content. It only takes about 4 or 5 seconds to run this. All right, goes through, forgotten password. Hang on a minute. This is the NearBeach login. All right. This is weird. Okay, let's start breaking this test up. So, first off, what we want is reverse URL equals reverse, and then we want test permission denied, where the args is empty. All right, and then print. We're just gonna have this as an F sort of thing. Reverse URL. I think it's no, it's just this. Reverse URL. And then what we can actually do is we can just get rid of that and reverse URL in here. Okay. So we're just breaking all of it up. We're going to see what actually happens. So the reverse URL is correct. But for some strange reason, let's try and do this in another container. I'm going to log out here. Oh. It's automatically going to the login page. Okay. So I'm not logging in. All right. All right, so I've now found the problem. Let's log in. Does your project management manager work only near beaches? Yeah. You know how people post their Instagram sort of thing, nomads by the beach type of stuff. I better put on moderate. There we go, see? Just got to Photoshop NearBeach in there. Okay, so Django unit test login. I think there's a problem with the login. Yeah, I know. He is, isn't he? But is it the same image? almost pretty much they've cut off this part and they've added that onto here. That's desk work in a nutshell, yeah. Alright, so log in self-client. I must not be logging in properly. So, code that doesn't work. Okay, why doesn't it work? The solution, user, objects, create user. I'm not going to create a user, we already have a user. Logged in. Alright. So, mustn't have been logging in. However, that being said, if this particular functionality is not working, what we'll do is we'll rip it out and we'll try and make this as generic as possible so when someone comes in, they'll log in. We could do, I'll just wait. Python extend classes. I'm just seeing if it's actually possible. Alright. My boss is already up my ass. Adding sand is not going to get better. Yep. Well, NearBeach actually came out as a name because I'm close to the beach. So, yeah. It's one of those things. Okay, so setup. Let's bang this in. Oh, I'm not even activating the logged in users, right? We've got the credentials, but I'm not hitting logged in users. Oh, that should be self.client. And then I just did something wrong. All right. Oh, fair enough. I've got to update the demo eventually. So the good news is 0.30, I'm focusing on restructuring the database and making it as stable as possible before working on new features. So hopefully one day. I do need to start that feedback loop where people start using it, be like, oh, this is a problem. I then look at it, try and fix it, or get help fixing it. And then, you know, people are like, oh, okay, cool. Now it's not a problem. This is another problem and stuff like that. So that way I get the sort of feedback loop. So I retain, like, make up a little community. So, yeah. All right, let's see if that little one line fixes stuff. Now, I do believe that all the other ones are a 302, so it's going to throw up, yeah, that many errors. That's not a problem. What we'll do is we'll put those like that. Knew that was going to happen. So, I'm happy. And there we go. We've got all our tests done. Let's get rid of some of this sort of stuff. All right, cool. So this is just a test function. We're already dog fooding it, so it can't be at less in level of that. Thank you. Yeah, I am. So there are things which as dog feeding, I'm like, I need to fix this, I need to do this, and so forth like that. So, yeah. Okay. I am happy with this now. So what we've got to do, all these 302s are going to be a 200. And I should get rid of this. So we've got the fixtures there. This is being used. This should be pulled in. I should put this in another place. The idea is I kind of want to create a template so that way I can just copy it and be like, all right, cool. You just put in your functions and stuff like that. So I'm happy with this now. This is, yep. All right, I can get rid of that breakpoint. So I need to find and replace. I actually don't know how to find and replace. So what's that one? Option, yeah. 302, 200. Oh, no, still need that little thing at the front. Sweet. All right, let's go save. Let's go in here. Let's go Python. All right. Now, 200 does not equal. All right. Not a problem. So, with this one, the response, data equals data. We want follow equals true, because that's what we did before. And we're still getting errors with those 200s. All right, because these specific ones, let's just comment them out. I think it's these ones. I've also got to double check what team leader. All right. Errors 2. Oh, what did I do? All right. Let's have a read of this bottom one first. So errors, test, basic page load successful. In this sort of case, it will be, I'll have to rename that function. NearBeach tests user permission, test team leader tests. So URL test equals organization information. Argxit equals 2. Oh, this page doesn't exist. So it's a could not find. So organization information. All right. Let's go with the other one. It might be customer information, customer meshing query. Yeah, cool. And then this one will be like this. Is he all right? Yep. Yes, I am. In fact, I wrote it on the weekend. It took me a little bit to gain confidence. I'm still not as confident as I used to be. Like, I remember riding down Nepean Highway. There's a section near St Kilda where you got a steep hill coming up and a steep hill coming down. And I remember going down that hill pretty fast without having the brakes on. Let's just say I was nearing the speed limit of that area. Nowadays, I am a little too scared. That the fastest I've been is about 49 kilometers an hour. So, yeah. Yes. Pretty fast. And nowadays, not so fast. So, yeah. But I do enjoy it quite a lot. So yeah, I do go mountain bike riding. I do go casual riding around here and stuff like that. And I do use it as a form of transport. So for example, I needed to go back to my father's place and take the bins out. And I was like, well, it's an hour ride there, an hour ride back. It's good exercise. So yeah. Do you use one of those? No, I don't. So I have a bike that's more of a mountain bike. However, the wheels themselves are mountain bike size wheels. However, I've chosen tread that's good for both. So I just got the bike store to recommend to me something. I'm like, listen, I do take it out at least once a month for riding on dirt and stuff like that. In fact, there's quite a lot of dirt tracks around here. So it would be a bit more than once a month now. However, I ride on the road quite often. And the good thing is, well, actually, this is dependent on your version of good. So I can actually ride to work in about 2 hours from here. I'm probably going to try and do that once a week. I used to ride my BMX all day as a teen. At only one speed, yep. Yeah, I had a little tiny one when I was 6. And the brakes were, as you're pedaling, you're like on the pedals here. Just wait, so if you're pedaling clockwise, you go anti-clockwise. Used to ride my BMX. For a while, I looked like the reverse leg day, yeah. I fully understand. I was probably very similar as a child because I used to ride a lot. Highly enjoy it. It is a really good and fun pastime, so yeah. That, and I'm trying to stay as fit as possible, so. I'm glad I didn't conk out on the hills the other day. My friend's a lot better at climbing hills than I am, but however, I was able to, do okay. I'm proud of myself. I'll have ride back again, but I'm now 100. Oh yes. Well, that's the other thing is, I was 130 kilograms, and I've lost about 11 kilograms. So yeah, you can get extra large bikes. Do take that weight, but yeah, it's hard work. I fully understand. I am no spring chicken. There's a reason why it cuts off here. No one needs to see my gut. I'm 119 kilograms at the moment. Alright, yeah, fully understand. Alright, so we've done that. Okay. It's not about work. I just can't find any bikes for me where I live. Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough. It can be hard. And then you got to find people who will service it and so forth like that. And we've got to make sure team leader, yeah. Alright, so I'm just unhooking these. Don't know why I did that the slow way. I was thinking I might unhook one or two, but no, I unhooked them all. Uncommented, sorry. Alright, 7 failures. So, there's more than 7 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, let's have a look why. The following test makes sure that, alright. User information. Ooh. Oh no. Alright, let's log in as team leader. Oh, alright, we've actually found a bug. A very serious one. So what we're going to do is we're going to fix this bug at the moment, but we're going to flag which ones are causing it first. So we've got user information. RFC read only. Alright, that should not allow people in anyway. RFC information. Oh, RFC doesn't have... Okay, I'm going to have to actually put in the permissions for that one. Organization information. ARGS1. Organization information. That's a false test. Permission set information. That's another one that we gotta fix up. And custom information, that the users should be able to go to customers. We'll be testing it with a person who doesn't have access to those at a later date. So we'll have a user that has no access, and we'll just double check to make sure that they can't access anything. So very similar to this sort of test here, except it should be all 403s. But what we'll do is we'll set up that Excel spreadsheet a little later. And the idea of that spreadsheet is so that I can quickly just copy and paste the stuff, have all these in their own separate permissions, and then save this spreadsheet somewhere useful for helping reset up more permission tests and so forth like that. So, customer information, change task information. That's another one which should be fixed up. So these ones we need to fix up. All right, cool. I'm just going to do that. I will be back in about 30 seconds. I just need a drink. So, yep. All right, sorry about that. Okay, cool. I've broken something. Or I've missed to test. Private download file. All right. So currently at the moment, we need to figure out how we can do that test. And requirement item information. That one should be working. Actually, that's a arguments 1. Okay. Admin only. Yeah. All right. This is a bug. So this is why we write unit tests, to find these bugs, fix them up, and make sure that they don't happen. So yeah. All right. We're gonna save those. This is our checklist to fix. All right. Still one error. What is it? Requirement item information. I thought oh. Yep. Requirement information. Is that not working either? Oh, all right. So it looks like I haven't either A, programmed the decorators for it, or B, assigned the decorators to that functionality. So yeah, that shouldn't take too long to actually implement. But once done, what we could do is we could make sure this all works. So user information. Let's go over here. Let's actually close everything else but the tests at the moment. So we can save. Gonna go. So this is user information. So this will be part of the admin views. We don't have any decorators whatsoever. All right, cool. So. Now this is a bit tricky. Just got to think about this for a minute. Okay, so we got administrators. We go to the permission set. We've got admin permission so forth like that. We can't edit this. But as you see, there's full permissions to assign users to group model, create groups, create permission sets, and create users. Alright, so we do want to add in the ability to be like, hey, this is no admin, but they can still do this. Now in reality, it's going to be a power user for those things. So we're going to figure this out. We've got to make sure that the user has those permissions and make sure that if they don't, we boot them away. Okay. So I'm just thinking about this at the moment. I'll tell you what, I am going to use my whiteboard. Oh, there we go. Big screen now. Ha! Just making sure that that is appearing correctly. Yeah, cool. All right, cool. All right. So, decorator. I'm just doing it as a box. Is user super. So if they're a super user, we want to go yes, and it just continues. All right. So no issues whatsoever. Oh. All right, if they're not, this is where it gets tricky, because what we need to do is we need to check. If I go back to this permission set screen and dance around. There we go. All right. We need to check to see if they're assigned users to group, if they're created, if they can gain access to groups, create permissions, and so forth like that. So we need to figure this out. At the moment, what we could do, blanket sort of rule being like they don't have permissions, but we need to actually test it so these guys can do stuff. So you, in some cases, you might have a super user. I forgot where I put my rags. No, power user, sorry, not super user. So power user, they hit this, it's a no. And then what we want to do is, depending where we are in the functionality, that is what it will check against. So we've only got four permission sets, permission attributes, sorry. I really need my, I don't know where my rag went. All right. Where's a big one? Nope, sorry, I should. No, that's going to fall over, isn't it? So what we need, we've got 4 permission attributes. Okay, ATTR attributes. What we need to do is we need to pass, when we call the decorator, we need to pass in one of those attributes that is for that particular area. And then we could potentially use something in Django, which we've used before in our code, to pull out that particular field. So these are one-to-one with a field in Django. Flash NearBeach. So this might be the solution, is we create a decorator where we feed in, hey, this is the permission we need. And that should work with most things, because we already do that with the levels. So why can't we do that with the fields too? Okay. Just neaten up my hair. So it's getting dark, I might close the blinds. Time. Oh, yeah. So yes, I want to create a bug first. I want to be able to track this. I definitely don't want to forget about this. So straight off the bat, let's go new issue. Okay, normal users can access other users. Access user information section. Method log in as a normal user. 2, go to user info 1, expected admin not to expected 403 permission denied, actual admin user information is showing, no decorators, stopping user from accessing information. All right. Hey, Nocturnal, how are you? I found a very bad security bug in NearBeach. So, I'll just go back here. I've logged in as a team leader who should not have access to edit other people's user information. I've forgotten to actually create a decorator to stop that. So yes, we're going to fix that. Also, that's the auth fuse. I'm happy with this. I'm going to actually neaten this up, and I'm probably going to use this as a template for the other permissions, and I'm probably going to use that Excel spreadsheet to create all the different form data I need, this and that sort of data I need, much like how we did on Friday. So yes, thank you very much for your help Friday. But yeah, we've also found out that through writing unit tests that these particular functions don't have decorators implemented yet. So this is why we unit test. So yes, anyway, this is a very showstopper bug submitted, signed to me. And this is part of administration. And create. And this is bug 967. All right. So, first off, what we want to do, let's create our decorator. So we got a decorator already called check user permissions. So we can hijack some of this. So we've got one for RFC, we've got one for check user requirement item permissions. These are very specific edge case permissions. We've got check user permission, which is the one that hits the vast majority of sort of interactions with the user. So whenever you save something, whenever you go to a new project or a new task or anything like that, the vast majority of the times it will use this one. So we're inputting the minimum permission level and the object lookup. And depending what the object is, depending what it does is it looks up that particular object, and then it actually finds out those sort of values and stuff like that. So we could probably actually hijack this. Could you not decorate the URL to look up permissions for the URL? That's the way I would do it. I think, yep, that's what I'm going to be doing. So yes, the way that it looks up by default. So yeah, I've been doing it, sorry, the little thing keeps coming down. I've been usually doing the decorations out here a bit. So I'm just wondering if I could potentially use the check user permissions. Because if we go to object, no, that's part of object assignment, which has nothing to do with the permission set. So this is going to be another edge case. Essentially, we would have check users admin permissions. So we've got organization permissions too. And check Kanban permissions. So check users admin permissions. So we'll write something up here. Check. Oh, wait. That's not in alphabetical order. Check users admin permissions. So we'll have the min permission level still, because depending on the CRUD depends what they can do. So for example, level 4 can delete, level 3 can create, level 2 can update, and level 1 can only read. And that's sort of stackable. So if you've got level 4, then you can do the other 3 CRUD. So we still need that. And then what we need is permission lookup here. But just wondering if that will be a required field for most of it. At the moment, I'm gonna, probably not default like that. Only default if I need to. All right, cool. Function is only used in the administration section of the permission administration views. It is designed to make sure that the user either one is an admin or has some administration permissions. Oh, actually, yes, I'll have equals here. I have a feeling that there will be some cases where only administrators can do stuff. Let's have a look at the permission sets. So we've got groups, permissions, users, assign. So trying to think. We probably need to put tags in there sometime soon. But tags, I kind of want other people to be able to create tags. So this feature will be ripped out sometime soon and put over in its own little section. So I won't put tags in there just yet. I don't think there are any permissions around tags. No, there isn't. There should be, and that should be another bug. No add-ins. no permission set attributes for tags. Currently, tags are stored under an administration functionality. This will most likely need to be moved away from here, as normal users might need to organize and edit tags on a daily basis. Need to think of a better UI UX for the end user. So this is just normal, this is a bug, this is submitted, and this is part of the tags. Oh, we don't have the tag subsystem. No subsystem. Alright. Cool. So I'm just closing all these bugs off. Alright, so what I'll potentially do is if it passes the admin test and it's blank, then it should, go to 403. All right, over to the other side. I'm just opening this up to the other side to reference code I've already done. All right, has some administration permission attributes associated with them. Okay, so first we want to decorate function that wraps the function. All right, def inner request args. Sorry, I'm just remembering quargs. All right, straight off the bat. If user is admin, full permission. Request.user.is super user. And then that will just return func request args quargs. And then we need to have user level equals 4. All right. Got a mistake right there. Sorry, the next thing we want to do, okay, default user level is 0, of course. So user group results equals user group dot objects dot filter is deleted equals false, and then we need the username equals request dot user. All right. From here, now I'm just checking my other code. That's what's off to the side here. If cargs are greater than 0, group results. All right. And this in here. All right. This is where at this point, if permission lookup is empty, string escape. All right. If permission lookup equals that, return raise runtime warning. I thought it was raise permission denied. All right, cool. Sweet. All right, so we're getting the... We need the permission result. We need the permissions for the user because we're looking at the user's specific permissions at this particular point. So, I can't get to the whiteboard with my headset on, sorry. All right. Let's open up B Studio so I can visually show you guys. Over here. And we'll make it that big. Sweet. So what we have, sure, this is the user data. So it connects the user, group ID, group leader, change user, permission set and stuff like that. So we still need this user group because it connects in the permission set ID. What we want to do is we actually want the permission set ID table. Sorry. So instead of this, what we need is look at the user's permission set table. So, this would be one permission set. And this one permission set will be assigned to a user at the group level. So hence we got user group. So once again, here's the user group ID. There's, whether or not it is a thing, there's a group ID, permission, and ID. So what we need to do is permission set results equals permission set results dot objects. Oh, we don't have it in here. LMNOP QR. All right. Oh, what did I name it? Should be NearBeach permission sets. Is it just permission set? Yep. All right, cool. Scrolling back down around about here. Objects.filter is deleted equals false, and the permission set ID in, and this will be the user group results.objects.filter is deleted equals false, and then the username equals the request.user. Then we just need to go the capital or lower values. Yeah, values because it's plural. We just need permission set ID. All right, so that should give us all the permission sets that the user is assigned to. This makes it easier doing it at this sort of level because then all I need to do is user group is just go, all right, I want the max of this value. So yeah, and that's what I'm going to sort of nick from over here. And I'm just going to paste it here. This is just reference. So in this sort of one, we've got the user group in here where we've got, that's the aggregated salt where the map, so object replace underscore ID with nothing. Oh, that's the object lookup. Oh, we can do the same thing here. Except we won't need to do the replace stuff because we'll be feeding this directly through as those particular fields. All right. So I'm just rereading this. And then we want to grab the max. Okay. So we can actually do that all in one query. So actually, I don't think we can do it in one query. But what we can do is user level equals permission set results, so aggregate. And then what we want is the max of the, so we won't need the permission set. This is the max of the, and this is where we just feed in this value up here, which would be the permission lookup. All right. And then we need to just do, piss off. This is where we do, here we need permission lookup under max. Okay. And I'll explain this in a minute. Just double checking this. So with the user level, we want the permission set results, which we just got above. We want the aggregate of it, where the max permission lookup, where the permission lookup is that field we're looking up, and we want to just return out the maximum of it. All right. And I will show that actually over here. Let's scare everyone. Let's go blue screen. Okay, source. All right, so Python 3 manage shell import NearBeach.models. Oh, sorry, from NearBeach import models. Yeah, you're right. NearBeach.models. And import everything. All right, cool. And in this sort of case, what we're doing is, let's go through this one by one. So we'll skip this. We'll pretend the permission lookup is something else. But first, let's get A equals permission set dot objects dot get where the pk equals 1, so the admin one. So if we have A dot, let's focus on create groups. I'm gonna have to look that up in the table very quickly, terribly sorry. So if we go into here, permission set name, admin create groups. Cool. So A dot admin create with an E? Shit. Yep. And excuse my French. Administration. There we go. So we got a 4. I've been eventually there. So I've been So I've been so quiet. I've had Thursday, Friday off, so I'm trying to catch up on what's going on. Here or at work? I'm assuming at work. I remember going away for a week and just getting emails after emails after emails and coming back spending half a day work here. Alright, so what we want to do is let's grab all the permissions of that particular user that is assigned to those groups. So let's use this one first. So I'm just going to have it as a U. U equals user group dot objects dot filter. And what I'm doing is I'm filtering for the team leader, which so get to that. Where is deleted equals false. What else do we have in there? We have the username equals request user. So username equals, and I'll just put in team leader, I think. That might not work. No. So I'll just do a 2. There we go. The 2 worked. And as you see, there are 3 objects in there. So the first, this. Index out of range. All right. And then what we want from that is the permission set ID, and that will give us permission set is a 2. Is NearBeach marketing site what's running on nearbeach.org? Good not at the moment. So what I've had to do is, because I was using Umbraco uses MS SQL, so I set up an MS SQL server as cheaply as possible. But it was costing heaps, especially to the MySQL server. So what I've done is, because it's made up of a couple of pages, I've just created static pages and just uploaded it as a static sort of site for the moment. I will probably be moving it to something else. So I haven't chosen what I want to move it to yet. I just haven't had time to, between moving and unpacking and reorganizing my life again, I just haven't had time. I've also got to start migrating NearBeach away from AWS. So that will be happening in the next couple of weeks because I don't have much. I've got till the end of this financial year. So yeah, I don't have much time. All right. So what we've done is we just grabbed the permission sets that have been assigned to that user. So we have 2 permission sets assigned to that user. So if we actually go, we don't need the tag stuff. If we go to like the users, go to team leader, scroll down. Oh, we've only got 1. Sorry, I'm reading this wrong. This is a query set. There's only 1 in there. My bad. And that's why I put in the wrong one up there before. I put in 1, there's only 1 in there. So that should be 0. The U0. So the u.values, that will equal that. So if we look at the permission sets with this now, so if I just have a p equals permission set dot objects dot filter is deleted equals false, and then we have the user group ID, is it user group ID in? Oh, permission set ID in. ID in. What we can do is we'll have that user dot values and then permission set ID like so. And then we've got one where that particular user is only connected to full permission. So if we look at p dot, I'll show you first on here. So with the team leader, they actually have full permissions along here. Now, in reality, I should actually drop this off to no permission and actually have a power user with full permissions. I should note that down here. Create power user. To have admin stuff. Remove admin stuff from team leader. All right. As for, sorry, I should actually double check which marketing site is up here. There's a couple of repositories that I do want to get rid of. So this is the old one. Yeah, this is a very, very old NearBeach marketing site. I forgot. Built using nift.dev. So yeah, built using this. Very old. I haven't updated it. I moved to a CMS sort of things to play around with the CMSs. I tried this out. So yeah. Alright. Cool. So now what we want to do, permission sets, maybe archive it now so people don't. Yeah, I should. I'll write that down as a thing to do. Archive all sites. All right. So that will pull out the permission sets, and then what we're doing is we can just grab this, go p dot this. I should have done it like this. Ooh, max is not defined. That's because we haven't imported max. So I'm just gonna, from the Django's DB models, I'm gonna import that and then do that permission lookup. Oops, sorry. Tell you what, permission lookup. So this is the variable that will be passed through. This will be administration. We had it up here. Somewhere up here. Let's just look at the thing. Sorry, I'm terrible at create group. Create group. All right, and then when we key that in, we've got a 0. Oh, we have a 0. Oh, this is the admin stuff. All right, so if we go full permissions, yeah, it's a 0. So I don't need to remove the admin stuff from there. I'm gonna get rid of that. Cool, strike that off. All right, cool. So that's working as expected. So that's what this particular stuff does, wherever it's gone. Check user admin permissions. So we'll key in the permission level that they need and the permission lookup. If the permission lookup is nothing and it doesn't pass this, then the permission denied. If it continues on, it looks up that particular administration permission from here in this sort of section, and then it makes sure that the user level is, we need to make sure the user level is high enough. So if user level is less than, actually greater or equal to the minimum permission level, then we will everything is fine, move on. Return func, and then request args, quargs, and user level equals the user level. And then what we need to do is does not meet conditions, return permission denied, and then return inner, and then return decorator. That should be it. So yes, let's start testing that out. So alright. So I'm just admin views in here. So we need to import the decorators. From NearBeach.decorators import dot check user permissions import check user admin permissions. All right, cool. So down here at check user admin permissions. So the first thing off is we want the minimum level. So with the permissions, 0 is nothing, 1 is read only. It's not 4, it will be 3. 3, and we need to look up if the user can create users. So that would be admin create user. Administration, sorry, create user. So that needs to be a 3. Update group leader status. So I tell you what, a lot of the times this is going to be pretty much the very same. This is group leader, so administration should be create group, yep. And update group leader status. So 1 is read only, 2 is edit. So that will be a 2. And update user password. Yep, a 2. So that's it for the admin stuff. We'll need to also do the authentication stuff. I'll just quickly browse through it. So check capture, yep, that's fine. Login, a lot of this is fine. I do actually have to sort of clean up this login. Log out. Yeah, all right, cool. That is fine. So user views. This is where this will get used quite a lot. Do we have the decorators already in here? We've got Django decorators. We don't actually have decorators. So from NearBeach.decorators. Check user permissions. Import user admin. All right, and I'm just because I like it in alphabetical order. Okay, down here, let's actually just yank this, paste it in here. So a new user would be 3. Right, add user, yep, 3. 3, yep. New user save, that will also be a 3. Update password, that will be a 2. User information, that will be a 1. So you might have IT people who still need access to that information. User information save, that will be definitely a 2. No, I hear it. Hey, Peanut. My mother's cat's called Peanut. I'm looking after her. She asked if, she's like, I think my cat's name's gonna be Peanut, and she put it a vote to us kids, and we all said yes. So now the cat's called Peanut, and she's adorable. Alright, now let's go to the unit test. Where did tests, yep. So this can now not do that. Should be fine like that. So let's run our tests. Just quickly running it. So it failed. Errors equals 7. Why do we have... Alright, user level, args1, data stat, code 403. The following tests will make sure the team leader cannot access most of the web pages. Yep. Permission denied. Object has no get. Alright, let's jump in here, let's test it out. Permission denied. Alright, I failed. Failed that one. Oh, raise, not return. My bad. Wrong. Check user admin permissions. That should be raise. Or return. Oh, return. Raise. And then raise. And then it should be return. Yep. Okay, let's hit refresh. Boom. All right. I'm happy. But let's run the unit tests just in case. Okay, 2 fails, 4 errors. All right, let's find out why. Let's go down. User information. User information args 2. Yeah, you shouldn't be going to user information no matter what. If you want to edit your stuff, you go to my profile. So I think I've keyed that in wrong over here. So user information 1, I need to bang this one out. Okay, cool. That one's fixed. New user. Yeah, new user is not meant to be a 200. It's meant to be a 403. So what I'll do is I'll go through every single URL possible and work through it slowly, being like, this is the permission level needed and so forth like that. That way, what I could do is I could set up the Excel spreadsheets a lot faster and make sure that that logic is tested properly. All right, so that one's a 403. Got an unexpected. Oh, all right, cool. I know this error. So what's actually happening is user information got an unexpected keyword, user level. There is a reason why. All right, so for these particular ones which I've just edited, I needed to add in bloody hell, wogs. I need to add in. Let's just go to, I'll show you guys, project view. You need to add in this, the args and quags. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I couldn't pronounce it. I was like, blah, blah, blah. All right, bang, bang, bang that in. Bang, bang, bang that in. Hit save. Bang, bang. And then hopefully I get all of them. Alright. There you go. Alright, looking good so far. Oh, a couple of E's, but we'll fix them. Value error. Field ID expected a number but got username. Alright, that's not a problem. Lookups, SQL query manager, user views 111. User views 111. Alright. ID equals username. Alright, this was working just before. In fact, it shouldn't be reaching this. Alright, error, bad test, yada yada yada. Invalid literal for int with base 10 username. Alright. Open a node container. Let's see if it loads. No, it doesn't. So it is actually a bug that we've just introduced. Field ID expected a number but got a username. Alright, so this is just easier to read. So I'll zoom in. Cool, going through this, response, get request, yada yada yada. Down here, return func. Oh no. But, that shouldn't hurt this. So if I just boom that out for a second, works perfectly fine. But no, it shouldn't. Field ID expected a number but got a username. Return int value. Huh. Let's have a look at the so check user admin permissions. I'm just gonna sneakily just remove that for 1 second. I just want to see what happens. All right. This is where our debugging comes in handy. Oi, stop it. Let me click. Jesus, calm down. All right, so 111. So we're hitting this. We're getting issues. So we'll hit the line beforehand. We'll go return. Boom. All right, cool. We're making it past the decorator, so that should be fine. The username is being overridden with the word username. use the level. All right. Oh, whoops. All right, let's hit refresh. Why is that being... All right, let's put the thing there. Let's get rid of this breakpoint because this is happening up here somewhere. It's literally... All right. Let's jump into the decorator and let's find out why. So let's start at the decorator itself. Let's hit refresh. Let's scratch our heads why it isn't hitting that. Hmm. Okay. But there shouldn't be anything in here that has username in it to override it. We've got that. That's part of that. And this is also happening on here too, isn't it? Yes. Oh, wait, it works here. It just doesn't work here for some strange reason. But if I take out the decorator, it will work. All right, this is getting weird. What if I put a breakpoint there? Will that reach that one? Oh, it reaches that one. All right, cool. So we've got args, quags, username is 2. All right, so we step over. Args, quags, username is 2. I have a feeling... Did I spell quags wrong? No. Oh, it's Project Fuse. I scroll down here. There's our token. Oh. I've done something wrong. Let's make sure I spelled quags right. Yep. And then use the level, yep. This is weird. All right, what have I done? So, we know everything works if I piss this off. All right. As you see, it works perfectly fine. Okay, so yeah. Something's weird. Something's overriding that. Oh, I keep clicking on the wrong thing, sorry. And now it just works. Okay, I don't know what I did. Does anyone know what I did? Was it because this was misnamed or something like that? If I hit save... Did the server just need to reboot and there was something glitchy going on? Oh, now it's broken. Alright, let's hit stop. Let's hit run again. Hey, Peanut. Alright. Let's hit run again. Do you want to come up here, sweetie? Yeah, that's a good girl. Alright, this is showing off the cat time. Just as we do this. There we go. Do you want to have a look over here? So this is Peanut, everyone. Sorry, didn't mean to get loud. You're like, oh god, no, okay. There we go. She's like, alright. You can hop in the bed. I think she doesn't like the bed because first night here, the bed went from my desk and ended up in the water bowl. So I think she doesn't like the bed because she might have done that. So, yeah. And yeah, she's a really good cutie. She's very, very friendly. So, you want to get down? No, let me, sweetie, let me. There you go. And she's like, all right, cool. She's just at that sort of exploring, hiding phase. So she's been hiding some of the day and then walking around and hiding in another corner and stuff like that. So there's also another cat here called Charlie. So, but he's very timid. All right, so we got here once again. What am I doing wrong? I'm doing something wrong here. So I'm gonna yank a line from somewhere else. That's probably not the line I want to yank. So check user permissions. Oh, I spot it. I've only put 1 star there. 1 asterisk. Alright, it is something simple. Just gotta wait. I just gotta hit. And what I'll do is reboot, which takes a few seconds. Hit reload. Oops, forgot to take off the breakpoints. That's fine. Because now we've got the username is 2. And we've got everything popping up here. All right, simple error. All right. Let's run this. So we've done all our tests. We ran 53 tests. Sorry, I keep seeing this section here. I should actually, when doing this, clear. And then run the tests. That way I've got like decent amount of space. Okay, cool. That is good. So what we're going to do over in here with the normal users can access that sort of stuff. This is ready for retesting. We'll need to write mini unit tests to test the following. One, normal users have no access. Power users have the appropriate access depending on their level. I.eat read only power user. So yeah, we'll have to make all those users and stuff like that, put it in the fixtures, and we'll test. But the good thing is, with our Excel spreadsheet, we can actually quickly throw out something like this. All right. And we can make it so the power users have no information to anywhere else too. So that would be really, really good to be like, all right, can these users get access to anything else? And that way I'm covering the base. I'm duplicating some of the tests though, which will add on a number of seconds. But that should be fine. That should be fine. All right, so we've done the user information. Now we need the RFC. Don't knock over. Good. So the RFC should be simple. So the request for change is very on par with the tasks, projects, and so forth like that, where it should have user permissions. But now that I'm thinking about it, object permission, request for change. So we do actually have object permission in here. We can already utilize stuff that we've already done elsewhere for their RFCs. And that's the good thing about this. These decorators is I've designed them to be as flexible as possible. I know that there will be edge cases, much like what we just did right then. But with the RFC, we should be able to do it easily. So the RFC read only. Oh, the read only for the one would fail. Yes, and the RFC information will fail too. So let's quickly do those. I'm going to close these other things. So check user permissions, that's fine. So if we actually go to RFCs, and the first thing we need to do, decorators, check user permissions, check RFC permissions. Oh, looks like RFCs. Oh, RFCs are slightly different. They're an edge case. There are cases. All right. Let's go definition. Check users RFC permissions. Okay, straight off the bat, is the user a super user? Yeah, pass on. User group results. Now, what I should actually do with a lot of these decorators is a lot of this will be the same. So, and then we've got more complicated stuff in here. So I might actually think about how to simplify this, but not for the moment. At the moment, I can actually close that one. All right, cool. So we'll go through line 359. Once again, basic sort of admin sort of stuff. It passes things through. With the user group results. So the user groups, yep, all right, cool. If the quads, if we are passing the object look up through, we need to use a different function. All right, cool. So if there's multiple quags in there, we need group results. We can go through. If the length of the group results is 0, all right, cool. That's fine. So it passes that, and then it gets the max level. This is very similar to the other one. But all I need to pass through is request for change. I'm gonna actually have to sit down and figure out why I did this one as an outlier. And if I could get away with using the more generic one. However, it's this which would be different. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up to the other side. I am going to scroll down to check user permissions. Check user permissions. So what we've done is, so this is matched up, this is matched up, this is matched up. This is weird. Like I've got the line there and the line and the code there. I thought this would have been a bit different, but no, it's looking up the RFC ID. Oh, I think I know why. All right. It's because I've shorthanded RFC. So because I've shorthanded RFC, the field name is request for change. The reason why we have this is because RFC ID, it just doesn't match the object. So I'll show you. Where's my URLs? Okay, I can close this now. So with RFC information, I've got RFC ID. But if we look at any other object, so for example, task information, I've got task ID. Oh, that doesn't make sense though, but the task ID is also the field name. Whereas RFC ID, that isn't the field name, it is request for change. It's just shorthanded here just because I was writing it out too much. And it became one of those things where it was just too complicated. So, well, not complicated, too time consuming. So the request for changes need the check RFC permissions. It works essentially the exact same apart from that one line switch, which is annoying. I could put in some dodgy code. I could put in an if statement being like, if this equals this, then change that string to this and everything will be hunky-dory. Which yeah, could work. It will deal with that edge case because everything else is the same. But, All right, let's look at the, I closed that thing, didn't I? So check RFC permissions. So at the moment, because this should work exactly the same, I don't want to touch it. Because it will require work for me to fix the other one and get it all working. Something which I could potentially do in the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a bug thing. I'm going to state that this should be fixed in the future. Fix up decorator for checking RFC permissions. RFC decorator. Nope, I want code. No code. 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 Hello? I find all the bugs, don't I? Code block. Alright, cool. Alright. Guess that wasn't a bug. Guess that's just a UI UX thing. Why is code there and then code block over there? Don't know. I would have put them together. So we've got RSC decorator. This particular decorator is essentially a duplicate with one line change from the following decorator. We want another code block, and what we want to do, check user permissions. Alright, cool. It might be best to update the object lookup. Yeah, I see. Yeah, no, there's a couple of things. It's not so easy. Because there's the object lookup. We're replacing the ID there, stuff like that. But we'll need it. Yeah, nah. All right. No, this is enough changes for me to be like, no, this is a legit sort of workaround. So let's jump into the request for change. So we got the check RFC permissions. Down here, internal function. We don't need to worry about internal functions. Check RFC permissions. All right. New request for change. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty simple. That should be working. So, why isn't it? Oh, new request for change. I haven't tested for that yet. But check RFC permission. This is new request for change save. Once again, we'll have to throw these tests in and stuff like that. That's where the spreadsheet will come in handy, because I'll build up everything, all the form data and all that kind of stuff. So that way we can create these tests and create all this stuff. Task list. Change tasks equals to digit. Alright, cool. Yep, that's a read-only permission. That's a read-only permission. That should be post. Deployment. Oh, I need to go through this and actually, is that a post? Is that this? Is that that? This is one of the first things I rewrote when I decided to delete all of the original NearBeach. So I do need to go through this and clean up some of the code. I had it so I was going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and never got around to it. So deployment, new, do we have RFC information? Straight off the bat, min level 1. All right. So RFC 1. So this particular user should not have access. Oh. There we go. They were added. All right, that's probably the bug. That's actually probably a fixture bug. So let's retest that. Because if it's a bug in the fixture, we'll need to load up the fixture, fix up that issue, save the fixture, and retest. So going from here, RFC read only, args1. Yeah, all right, cool. So Python 3 manage load data NearBeach fixtures basic setup. All right, cool. So the reason why is that this should be only admin. We've accidentally put the QA team in there. So what we've done is we've just done that. All right. And then we need Python 3 manage. It's a dump data. Keep forgetting. Django. It is dump data. There's also some we want format JSON and indent too. So dump data format JSON indent to, and we need fixtures NearBeach basic setup. Oh. There. It's all lowercase. So let's run our tests. A couple of F's. All right. Task information. That's not good. So task information. Did that RFC just delete for all groups? Oh, that's really bad. All right.
Oof.
All right, we found a very critical bug at the moment. This is a showstopper. Removing any group from an RFC will remove group from all objects. Method 1, log into NearBeach. 2, navigate to any RFC. 3, remove a group associate with that RFC. Expected results. Only the group is removed from that RFC. Actual results. Group is removed from all objects. This is something I'm going to have to fix up right this second, and it means that I've just screwed up my fixtures, which is not fun. This is a showstopper bug submitted. myself. This is RFC. Okay, sweetie. Just staring at the wall. Good girl. Okay. Yeah. Let's trace this. So we're just going to open up the network. Going to add in that group again. Oh, we don't have that ability. That's another bug. Oh, gee, I can't be bothered filling that bug in right now, because we should be updating this list. QA team. All right, cool. So this is going object data, request for change 1, remove group. So if we go to the URLs, we find remove a group. There's our object data, destination, location ID, and stuff like that. So we're actually going to here. Okay, so that checks the form. That updates stuff. Group ID equals form, clean data, group ID. It goes to the linked object, so definition. And we don't have, all right. And I do believe there is an easy way to do this nowadays. However, request for change. So that's our definition there. ID, right, that should be simple enough. I've got to add this in with the calls, with the database. I've got to split up this file soon. Models, element OPQR. It will be just before this. All right. Oh, I don't know why I have a breakpoint there. All right, let's reload. Let's go to task information again. Make sure the QA team is in here. Just make sure I can load up. Yep. Let's delete this. Oh, still doing it. Why? And I should actually put in an error in there. So much like how our decorators are, wherever I find my decorator. Sorry, tests. Where are my decorators? Decorators. So we've got permission denied. Let's put in permission denied or something similar. So object data view. So we go in here at the very, very top. What if we also have error? Oh no. Permission denied works. And then let's go to the object stuff, which is, actually we've got the internal function. All right, hopefully that will work. And when we do this, so. All right, cool. And that's gonna fail. We all know that's gonna, yep. So I'm gonna bump that in right now. Bump, bump, bump. Cool. This one, bump, bump, bump. All right, I'm just gonna step over, make sure everything is working as expected. Peace. Damn it. All right. We can do this. All right, let's check the code. So it is hitting this. And it should be getting just that. And I believe I can shorten all of this down a lot better, but at the moment, let's just fix the bug. So request for change. All right, bang that out. Okay. Object. Jesus, it has a lot of objects in there. Why are you not filtering for one object? Huh. This is a bit concerning. So we've got object assignment submit dot request for change equals request for change dot objects and so forth like that. What if I just at the moment comment that out and be like, all right, cool, let's Let's add a group. Add group. Let's delete group. It's a 403. All right, cool. All right, I'm going to be right back. I just need some water. So we know of a way to block it from happening. But don't know why this isn't doing what we want. Is the location ID not passing through properly? Should be. Yeah, it is over here. There it is. All right. Because the last thing we want is it to delete everything. So having that permission denied in there is stopping that at the moment, which is great news. But it also means why the fuck isn't that working? Okay. Let's just go over to our code. So if we've got RFC equals request for change, where RFC ID equals 1, we've got a request for change. All right. The object assignment is it that none of this worked? Depending on the destination depends when we're linking. I think this is a bigger problem. I think I screwed up this initially. Yeah, that's permission denied. All right. Alright, I think I screwed up how this is meant to be structured, and that's why it's not working, meaning all of these other ones are probably not working. So what we need to actually do is do a complete search of link object. So good news is we could potentially collapse this a bit more. We need to make a check to make sure that if it's random or null or blank or anything like that, we piss it off. So where's our decorators? Because we've got a function in our decorators that we could potentially hijack. Alright, decorators. I hate how this... I need this to be more laid. Okay. So... check user permissions. So this is what I'm going to look up. So, as a reference. Just a reference. Okay, cool. So down here, what we want to do is I'm going to get rid of, depending on the destination, depends where we're linking the associated documents, on submit, cool, yep, cool, yep. And what we want is we want the object assignment submit equals object assignment submit dot filter. And then we still, do we need the is deleted? That functionality should be taken care of, where the object lookup, that will be the destination and location ID. Like so. Loud destinations equals pro task request for change. Give me 2 seconds. I want to undelete some of that stuff for reference. So allowed destinations equals project requirement item. These should be part of an object. This yeah, just give me 2 seconds. Bang, up here. Should be part of a list up here. No, it isn't. Alright, don't mind me. Task. And request for change. Alright. If destination not in allowed destinations, return permission denied. All right. Double checking that the specified. You okay, Peanut? Did you just knock over your tower? There you go, sweetie. All right, double checking this, that the specified destinations are allowed. In fact, that one should actually go up here. And I'll just do it like that. And then we won't need the vast majority of this. So we've just hopefully simplified the code by a lot. Fingers crossed it works. All right. No, it doesn't. Permission denied, has no attribute updated. All right, that's not a problem. Let's get something here. Oh, I know why. But also, let's do that again. Because I want to find out destination request for change. That should be raise. Okay, and that's why that broke. And hello, Mimo Twitch. How are you? Thank you very much for the raid. Thank you very much. It is greatly appreciated. How was your stream? I hope your stream is good. Right now, I'm actually fixing a bug which I just found, which is a showstopper of a bug. So, yes, a user could accidentally delete all groups assigned to objects. So, I hope your stream was going well. Okay, so this is where I am just going to look up Python string in array. Morning, hi, thanks. Sorry, I have to leave because of a job interview. Well, good luck. I do hope you go well. Break a pen. I don't know what the good luck saying is nowadays. So, good luck. Hopefully you get it. So, yeah, have fun. And thank you for the raid again. Okay. Now, request for change that. So in this sort of case, the destination should equal that request for change. I don't know why this is not working. So unless I've got my things around the wrong way, if not destination in allow destinations, but I thought, doesn't sound nice. So we're just going to jump into our Python area. So let's grab all these, paste them in. So we just got that. And let's have that one. Okay, cool. So A equals, not our spotlight thing, this right here. So A in allowed destinations is false. Oh. And why? All right. So that's false. Don't know why. Let's find out why. Okay. So there's our list. Do we have to iterate through it? Which outputs okay, array contains string. Let's do it this way. I think I just opened up this one. I just opened up this one. So check array list contains element value. Print chirp. Do I have to do it through a loop? Check if list contains an element with an in operator. That's what I was. So if bird in animal. Okay, let's bird I'm just gonna, oh, it's a capital B. Oh, just plural. Sorry about that. I'm just seeing why this isn't working like I expected it to. So, request for change. Should tell you what, I am going to actually copy and paste in this sort of case. Copy. Request for change in allowed destinations. False. Even though it's right there. Oh, I don't have a comma there. Alright, this is our mistake. Something simple. Now, if we scroll up, there we go. Pesky comma, yes. Hey, Delvoid, how are you? I hope you're going well. It's always something simple. It's the hardest bug to find is something so simple. Actually, I spent ages at work once trying to track down a bug, and it turned out it was a missing comma. Doing alright, how are you? I can't complain. Missing my commas. So, alright, so let's just test this out. Okay, cool. I am going to change this up in a minute. So that should return an object set that is a lot smaller. It's still 6. I mean, we've done it 6 times. But we're also need to is deleted equals false in here. Because we don't need to do anything to the false ones. Unless I'm reactivating. Oh no, I'm not. Okay, so one thing I do want to change. I want to say destination not in. So this is a little checker, making sure that if we have the same issue we had just before where I didn't actually have that value in there, it cancels everything. What I'll do is I'll double check all these fields against the database and make sure that every single field in the database which is relevant should be in this list. So going back here, I'm going to add that group back in. I'm going to hit delete. I'm just going to move forward a couple. Oop. And then the query set is down to 1, which is great, which is what we want. Okay, so then that means this one still has its permissions. Okay, cool. So we've just fixed this bug. As this is a pretty big bug, I am going to fix it up right away. Git add, not everything at the moment, NearBeach, views, object data views, git diff. I'm going to actually diff it just because it might actually have, it's not gonna. Okay, git commit. And I'm going to write up this and just push it straight away because this is a bit of a very critical issue. Bug fix. All right, git add everything, git commit. And this is the other bug fix that I did tonight. Also another critical one. This one is now ready for retesting. Normal users can access stuff, which is pretty scary. Bug fix. I know I spelled that wrong. Just give me 2 seconds. Waiting for the cursor to go across all the screen. Cool. Okay. So fix that bug, fix that bug. I now need to fix my fixtures, which is going to be really annoying. Okay, so I'm going to close a couple of tabs. Keep that one open, keep that one open, keep that one open. All right, cool. I'm gonna close that one. I'm gonna find all my objects and open up the QA team stuff, because I've just dropped all the permissions for the QA team. Actually, before I do that, because I've been playing around with all this, I'm actually going to load the data. So Python 3 manage load data, and then we're doing it from NearBeach fixtures and then NearBeach basic setup. So that's the basic sort of setup. We're going to fix up this fixtures. So that should now be in the database. We're still logged in. That's great because we've just saved the fixtures just before, so it still has our session key. So we're going to open up every single one of these QA team ones, and we're going to reassign the QA team to it. So yeah, this should not happen. So QA team assigned. QA team assigned. QA team assigned. That one's already assigned. Kanban information, we just need to assign them here. All right, cool. And now we're actually going to save the fixtures. So Python 3 manage dump data, where the format is JSON and indent is 2. We are going to use the exact same fixtures in here, NearBeach, basic setup, and so forth like that. We are then going to run our tests. So Python 3 manage tests. So I've been running unit tests and so forth like that to make sure that certain user permissions are working. This is how I found this particular issue. Is when I was working through the unit tests, I realized that, hey, I've accidentally done this. I need to go in, deleted the value, realized it screwed me over. So yeah. It looks like we've got one error. No. All right. So URL add link. Okay, add link. Document description. What is this one? The following test will make sure has no attribute filter. Yeah, these things happen, but I'm glad I found it now rather than when I push it to production. So yeah, this is why we write these tests and why we test thoroughly, because we are human. Yeah, exactly. And I know I'm doing it proactive after the fact. Sorry, not proactively, after the fact. So yes, I am trying to improve how I test and stuff like that. It's not my strong point. Let's just say that. Okay, object assignment set equals object assignment filter. Object assignment has no attribute filter. Oh, all right. So this looks like add link is having a problem. So object data views 976. So it's what we've just done. However, we've broken it somewhere. So it's been called from somewhere else when we're adding a link. All right, so we just got to go back. Decorators, handle, test object data 174. All right, that doesn't really help us. So no, it's with add link. Oh, what am I making? Terribly sorry. So I am making what's called NearBeach. It's an open source project management system. I've been working on it for a little while now. It started off as like a sort of a learning project, and then it started growing. Then it became a monster, and I decided to delete 90% of it. And then I decided to essentially rebuild it again. And yeah, It can get organizations, customers, Kanban boards, projects, requests for change, requirements, and tasks. Yeah, like Jira. So there's a couple of differences. For user stories and so forth like that, I use what's called requirements and requirement items. So requirements is the helicopter view, and then the requirement items are the little tiny, more subish sort of tasks. And then when you're ready, you will break that out into projects and tasks and so forth like that, with the ability that one of those requirement items might hit 2 or 3 projects with dozens of tasks under them. So I'm still, it'll be different to Jira. Let's just say that. The idea is everything's sort of connected, but not connected at the same time. So you got objects. So yeah, I'm still working on it. Still, I heavily need feedback and stuff and ideas from everyone. So feel free to play around with it. Don't use the demo just yet, just because I need to actually update the demo, which I'll be doing when I port everything over to Azure. So yeah. However, that being said, if you just wanted to play around with it, if you go to NearBeach.org, you can actually run it in Docker. Yes, yeah, there is a Docker container of it. So you feel free to copy this Docker Compose, just update some of this stuff. I tend to put in Mailtrap stuff in there, update the secret key. Sorry, this is actually a static sort of page at the moment. I will actually get this to actually render out again, where a lot of this is random and so forth like that. And yeah, hopefully the instructions work for you. If you have any issues, just contact us on our Discord channel. So yeah. Or I am on GitHub too. So Nightbot just had the perfect sort of response then. That was automatic. So going back to this, it's saying that the add link is not working. So let's copy this. Thank you. Yeah, I've been at it for years. Yeah. Okay. URL add link. Equals link object. That should have a filter on it in the function name. Link object, or oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. All right. Add link. I am pretty so form, checking the form, add object link form. So let's just put a little thing there. Let's jump into here. Let's jump into here. All right, cool. Let's follow this through. Function name look like add link. Ah, okay, yep. I can zoom in the font a little bit more if people are having difficulties with it. It's perfectly fine. My monitor is big enough to handle that. So object assignment to allow destinations. Yep, all right, cool. Oh, okay, cool, yep. Did that throw up an error? Okay, let's find out why this is happening. So I'm just going to delete all that data. We go to linked objects, so we're just creating a link. So this is the project information, so you can link projects and all that kind of stuff all together, being like, hey, these are all related. So we go here, go through like this. All right, cool. So that should still be an object. That should still have filter on it. All right, so allowed destinations. This destination is allowed, it's a project. And this is where it fails. All right, so we get the 500 error back, yep. Okay. Let's... Oh. It's a get. Is it? All right, I think I know why. Yeah, so essentially we're creating an object. That's why this doesn't work down here. Cool. No, we don't want that. All right, so I can actually get rid of that object. And then what we want down here is we want to borrow some of that code though. Where's my decorator? Keep losing my decorator. Init, no, we don't need our init. Check user permissions. So we kind of need something like this. Oh, piss. Thank you. Okay, cool. So we need the, instead of object lookup, we need destination and then location ID. And then hopefully that will work. What's the end for the product? Haven't really... I've got a lot of ideas for what I want to actually do. So I want to be able to, once I create the sort of basic project management system, I want to be able to create something that essentially supports before the projects start. Essentially all the lead sort of stuff, which connects into a lot of the requirements and requirement items and so forth like that. But a lot of places will go through a sort of, there's always those meetings to be like, oh yeah, we do this, we do that, we'll have to set it up like this and all that kind of stuff. So that way, all this sort of information will, CRME stuff, yeah, yes, yeah. And all that kind of stuff. I want to eventually be able to create that. So that way people can use that to get into this. I also want to have it on the other end. So there's requests for changes in here. So usually you use them for when updating certain sort of sites and so forth like that. So you just have a list of tasks for everyone to do, what time and so forth like that. So everyone knows their responsibility and what they've got to do at what particular time and so forth like that. So I also want to extend that functionality out a bit more. So that way, you know, clients, potential clients, and all, well, they won't be potential, they'll be clients if you're at the RFC stage. The clients know what's actually happening and so forth like that. There's that sort of, yeah. Don't know about DevOpsy yet. At those particular levels, I'm thinking more like information to give to end users and management. So they know where the project is and so forth like that. The idea is I do want to also key in other sort of features. So for example, when you start giving too many tasks to a particular user, the system will be like, hey, this is probably too much work. You've got to take off some of these tasks or just deassign them. So the last thing you want to give anyone is the too many tasks, because you'll just be like, all right, I've got like a list of 90 tasks to do. Which ones are higher priority over the other ones? I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see if it does. I am just copying that. Okay. I actually haven't looked into any depth about RACI schemes, so it'll be interesting to see if I could fit this in there. So yeah, there are other things I want to do with NearBeach, but at the moment, instead of, and this is the problem which I had when it was more of a working sort of, not working experiment, it was more of a playground for me to figure stuff out. I kept adding features which don't belong in a project management system. So I was adding in quoting, I was adding in this, I was adding in that, because I was like, oh, I need this functionality if I were to work with people and stuff like that. Whereas I just spread myself too thin. Sell this at one point. So what I want to actually do is I will probably set up a secondary company which will software as a service this, and probably create plugins and so forth which will sell those plugins for this. However, NearBeach itself is open source, so you can download and use it today. I'm not looking at selling it, but selling it as a service in the future, maybe. Yeah, a hosting business model, yeah. But I won't be selling NearBeach. So yeah, you can literally download it, put in how many users you want and stuff like that, and the idea is like, yeah, that'll be fine. So, yeah. Anyway, where was I? So this add link, this should hopefully work. Am I not using this at all? All right. I am going to have to look into what I'm doing with this particular function. This particular function is probably old, and there's probably a better way to do it nowadays. Find out if add link function works when fixing the issue with how do I add in a bug reference? 967. We noticed that object assignment submit is not used. Double check code, find out if we need to refactor. Alright, cool. So this is actually going to be a critical one, because this is actually a particular feature that is required. So bear with me. This is linking. No a subsystem because it actually connects with everything. Yeah, are you hosting? It is still a problem to generate insight or transparency for everyone with a larger portfolio than one project these days. Yeah. Yep. And hopefully I'll be able to create a solution for that. With the ability to be like, all right, here are some bottlenecks. This is what's happening with. So a lot of the times lead generation, it'll come along and you'll see stuff drop off. And then once you get into that, all right, cool, we're starting this as a project. You boost up all these tasks and stuff like that. Hopefully your outgoing is greater than your incoming, or even better, equal to your incoming tasks and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully I can build something that will visually show that. Alright, but I've got a long way to go. This is a long plan. Remember, at the moment, I've got like Nocturnal's been helping out a little bit here and there, but in reality, I'm still chugging at this thing in my free time. Alright. Tell you what, I don't think this code is needed. Definitely. Alright. Linked objects. Let's just create a linked object. Let's connect it to this one. Save changes. I've accidentally kept myself in there. I'm just going to hit bang. When it comes to budget and profit margins, yep. Definitely. And then you've got the problem of non-chargeable support and chargeable support sort of stuff. So sometimes you might actually create a bug in your software and you're like, well, we can't really charge the client for this. Or the client comes up with new functionality. Or they think they found a bug and that you spend about an hour investigating something. And then you're like, all right, cool. How do we charge for this? And stuff like that. How do we keep our hours recorded and so forth like that? All right, I think that was unwanted code. I have just created a bug thingy just to go through this one section, just to make sure that it is, you know, it should be working. I think I can shrink a lot of this code. So yeah, it checks the form. I don't really have declaring the dictionary used in the loop below. So we've got object dict title and object status, and then it's weird loop. I reckon I can fix that. So let's quickly run our tests. Hopefully, fingers crossed. All right. And it's okay. Sweet. Now, it is about 10:20 here. I've got to go to bed. I am getting tired. So let's find someone to raid.